is to help you. Now, we're going to be very frank about the matter. It's going to be scriptural counsel. When we get into things that could ignite a controversy, I'm going to quote our publications. So you'll have to take it up with God. You're not going to be able to say, well, that's his opinion. It is my opinion. I just happen to agree with the published direction. Just give you an idea, and this is meant to help your family, because this is going to branch territory all over. Have you ever visited Bethel? I know for some of you living in some places, that's going to take some planning. It's going to take some saving of money. But in others that are living close, have you, as a couple or a family with children or a single parent, visited Bethel? And if you haven't, my next question is, but have you been able to find a way to get a trip to a well-known amusement park? Explain that to God. Yeah, we've been such and such, but haven't been to Bethel. The very house of God for a given area. See, spiritual families get God's mind on the matter. You want to help your children with proper goals and long-range goals? Make them spiritual. You know, a man that's not serving, there should be a real good reason why they're not serving as a ministerial servant. Remember, sister, you know how elders get put in awkward positions. What's the story of this brother? I'm interested in marrying him, but they had already gone too far along. But I tried to tell her, I said, well, think about it. He's 23 years old. He's not a ministerial servant. She married him. She paid for that wrong decision. 23 years old, and you're not serving as a ministerial servant. And the brother writes, over the years, Dad always has said it's his fault they did not do better in the truth. I would object and tell him, don't blame yourself. The system got worse. However, he would firmly say, because he's an honest man, no, in my heart, I know that I did not give them the same time and attention I gave the 5 older children. He confessed, I got tired of raising kids and just assumed that the 2 younger ones would follow the example of the older 5. I did not give the time and devotion that I did to the first 5. Now, he knew that, and he knew he couldn't go back and change it. He assumed full responsibility, and he was responsible. Maybe these 2 will come to their senses because their dad has since died, but it shows. The lack of taking the time and the training, it shows. There's no substitute for it. Either you're going to put the work and effort in, give them the best opportunity, and even when you do all of that, they have to make the truth their own. Never allow your clothes to enter the room first to overwhelm others. Have you seen folks like that? Their clothes entered the room first. Not good. For one of God's people, this is not Hollywood. We behave like Jehovah expects us in a respectable way. You want people to, as they say here, to be able to look past your clothes. So you can see, who are you? See, who is this person? Now, I have to mention this, something I've observed. I see it in the airports, but worldly women, okay, this is what they do. And it's all jerry-rigging, but sometimes even some of our sisters now, and I suppose, and they're probably really lovers of God and such, but you're not thinking of this verse. And what it is this Spanx, this skin-tight stuff they wear. Now, are any sisters wearing it in the ministry? No. I can't say I've ever seen that. But when they exercise, they leave their home and they're jogging in this stuff. Look at the verse. Is that appropriate? To wear skin-tight Spanx or whatever they call it, that's not modest, and it's certainly not sound of mind. It's really not appropriate. There's nothing else to say about it. Now, you want to be in your home or your room and wear that stuff, that's your business. But don't go out in public like that and say you worship the true God. I'm just trying to stay in shape. Inappropriate. And the other one that needs addressing is for these young fellas, because the older ones aren't doing much of it, thankfully. It's the metrosexual look. We've addressed that in the past. We've said things about it. But what's happened now, it's really caught on more. Now, metrosexual, that's the tight suit jacket and the tight pants, better known as tight pants. And they are tight, I mean tight, all the way down to the ankles. And that is not modest, brothers. No. It's not appropriate. It's not sound of mind. And I was proud of one circuit overseer who told me this past summer at one of the international conventions, because he brought it up, one of these fellas shows up for his circuit overseer visit, and he wants to go out to ministry, work with him, door to door, and he's wearing tight pants. And the circuit overseer was man enough, spiritual man enough to say, no, I'm not going door to door with you. Not with that dress on. Inappropriate. So a lot to think about, and you elders out there listening in, and be kind now. We always want to try to imitate Christ Jesus. You be spiritual man enough to tell these young fellas, you don't go out in the ministry looking like that. Not in this organization. Frankly, I have asked sister after sister, what do you think of this? Do you find that appealing, attractive? I'm just curious, because I'm not a woman. And you know what? I've not met one yet that thought they look good. But like I've been telling others, and this is a fact, the homosexuals that are designing these clothes, they like you in tight pants. That's who likes it, not spiritual people. So it's just something to consider with dress and grooming. Is it appropriate? Is it modest? Does it display soundness of mind? If not, do something about it. If you're a spiritual family. When you pray with your family, and I'm not saying you have to be as elaborate as Daniel, it should be meaningful. And don't be afraid to, in your prayers, tell your God in front of your children the mistakes you made. That'll go a long way. They'll be quick to forgive you. And they'll know that God's real to you. But if you warn someone wicked to turn back from his way, and he refuses to change his course, he'll die for his error. But you'll certainly save your own life. So what's the point? Well, the warning work. We share in the preaching work. Many will do it tomorrow because you're joining the program today. You had your Watchtower summary today. The fact is, this is blood guilt, and you take a good look at your hands, you families, and the single folks too who benefit, and the kind of blood on your hands that is spoken of here is figurative. You don't see it right there, but if you're really not actively sharing in the warning work, when God looks at your hands, could well be seeing blood. So if he sees blood on our hands, we're going with the ones we were supposed to warn. It's that serious. Not a light matter. And sometimes folks talk about this relative, that relative, they're baptized, but they've been going through a hard time, they're not preaching. And we love the inactive, we're going to try to help them. But, they talk about Jehovah like he's going to understand all of it. And I'm like, what Jehovah are they talking about? I don't know him. He's not in here. That's your idea.